Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Hello, hello, hello. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. And I'm going to open this window a little bit. I am so trying to make this happen today. So much has happened. Let's see what that looks like. Oh, much better. Much better. Okay, let's see who we have. Was a rough week last week. Yes, rough week last week. So I need some help from my people. I need some help from my people. Very rough week last week. All righty, let's get into it. Good morning, good morning. So, I took every bit of energy that I had to come on here today because I want to share some things that I've been going through. First of all, I'd like to say good morning. And it is Saturday. I think it's the second or the third. I can't remember. Um, it's the third. It's the third. But I think I was telling you guys a couple of things that I was going through, and I wasn't really specific. And I'm not going to get too specific, but I'm going to say that we should definitely consider our mental health over everything. And I've really been going through some things, like a lot. And Thursday, I think, was like the boiling point for me. And I just had to reach out and get me some, some help. Um, and when you work on these jobs, you just don't want people in your business. People they think or they'll say that they're there for you, but when you're really going through something, can you really tell them like? And then they hold it against you or won't hold it against you. But I just don't care. I'm going to take care of me, and I'm going to take as long as I take to take care of me. That's important. My mental health and my mental state, and my progression in life as a person is important. So I want to say to you, no matter what you're going through, you just got to be up front and say you need some help, and then you need to get the help that you need. Um, Life is just way too short to try to be so strong and not share what you're going through. And when I say you don't need to tell people specific stuff, because people really don't care, they act like they do, but they really don't. Especially on your workplace, you just need to let them know. Get your doctor's note and keep it pushing. But you need to get your help. And mental health is a form of help. Um, so you can make sure that your future is good, both personally and professionally. So that is my mental health note for today. Make sure you take care of yourself. Now, I would love to see some of you on the where I can see that you're here. That motivates me. But most of all, you could put something in the chat today. I need it more than anything. It's so hard for me to make the next step because of the things I'm going through. But I said I'm not gonna let this stuff affect me um, emotionally, psychologically, that I don't do the things. You guys need me and I need you. I get so excited being able to share some ways that make life better when it comes to, you know, this financial journey that you're on. Yes, yes. So I'm here for you on that. But your mental health, hear me. I alluded to you a couple of weeks ago. I just had to let some things go in my life But Thursday, some things happened and it just triggered me. And I said, take care of yourself. Don't let these people and these things and these circumstances affect you like this. Get you some help, and sometimes you got to do it in an instance because you don't want to snap and you don't want to make things worse. So I'm here on Saturday the 3rd, and we're here and I'm excited. So just getting up, putting something on, being in your presence was such a big step for me. Because when you're going through some things, you just want to kind of retreat backwards. But no, you need to continue to get up, to take your bath, take your shower, brush your teeth, put some clothes on, and get into another mode. Just do something different. And that's just important. That's what we do. And so no matter what you're going through, get you some help, acknowledge that something is wrong, and seek the people that can give you the help. And sometimes telling everybody is not the way. Sometimes you just have to you have to just do what you have to do, and keep moving, keep going on with your life, because life life will present life to you, and the way you handle it, um, sometimes just stepping away and reassessing some of your personal and your professional goals, and sometimes you got to change it all, because you need to look out for you, not the job, not the people on the job, not the people in your home. If it's not a good, safe environment where people protecting you and making you feel as though you can share and be you without them being vindictive, or I don't know what the words are, but all I have to do is say, love yourself, love others, and look out for you. Look out for you. Look out for you. But your mental state, when you start feeling like you rocking back and forth and you have no control and you just want to give up, that's when you say, nope, time out, time out. Let me reassess this. Let me get right for me. That's why I'm hoping that you guys hear me. Everything that looks good on the outside may not always be good, because we try to present this unified, this great front sometimes. But that fake it till you make it is not, it's not the best way. It's not the best thing. So I say to you, do what's good for you. Take care of you. You, and you first. All right. So let's get into this. And thank you so much for allowing me the opportunity to give you a um brief synopsis of what has been transpiring with me for a couple of months. And but I figured out I'm gonna hold me near and dear. And so that's where we are. Let's get into this 2024. I'm gonna grab this pen. 2024 savings goals. This is where we are. 2024 savings goal, part 2. All right, so now here we are, and we're addressing 2024 savings goals. I would love for you guys to share. Let me see your input in the chat area. But today is 2024 savings goal part 2. On last week, we went into a really, I know some of y'all were like texting me like, man, that was deep. But it is very important for you to know that what are the consequences of not having savings? How will that impact your life? And so on last week, we just got right into it. When we talk about your 2024 savings goals, it's life changing, life altering. We could be one step from losing our job, one step from homelessness, 2 paychecks from being out on the street. If one thing goes wrong and we don't have that emergency savings, then what happens? the lights get cut off, the mortgage is not paid, the car note is not paid, maybe we don't even have food on the table. So savings goals are more important than you can think. Every decision that you make affects your whole household. And even if you're in a single state, single people become homeless too. Just because you're feeding, clothing, and sheltering one person, it could be too much. So we always want to start out by forgiving ourselves from the past choices that we made, forgiving ourselves for the lack of knowledge that our family members didn't give us, the lack of opportunity that we didn't take when people were sharing bits and pieces about finances and getting better because we thought we were good. So we're forgiving ourselves for that. And what we're doing is we're walking forward and we're saying, what can we do today that if we lost our job today, how would those finances be impacted? We're already $40,000 in consumer debt. And if we lost our job today, what would it be? Do you have any savings? Do you have any money that when your supervisor says the day is the day, will they cut you a check? Will you be okay for 2, 3 months until your unemployment kicks in or till you find another home, find another job? What is it that you'll do? And you have to qualify for unemployment, and the unemployment is what never what you currently are making. So the bills are getting pushed back, and 2 pay periods have come, and guess what? Lights off, no food, it's cold, we have no gas, it's the winter time. So what are we doing? That is what I'm saying to you guys. What are we doing? It's very important. So let's get right into it. What are your savings goals for 2024? And how are you going to make that happen? And I think we need to go back to the simplest things. Looking at your budget, seeing what is there. And we know that once you write that budget, you might be in a deficit. So when you're in a deficit, how do you get yourself out? You're drowning. That water's a bubbling, 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 gurgling, gurgling. And you're going down. You're going down. You're drowning in consumer debt because we didn't plan for an emergency. We didn't plan for the rainy day. We never thought the rainy day would come. We always thought it would be sunshine and bliss. But today the rain is coming down like a tsunami. You feel it encapsulated and you have no way out emotionally. And now it's affecting you physically. How do you get out of this drowning? Make a conscious decision to go back to your budget. And for those of you who don't have a budget, we have about 15 videos out there on budgeting. All right? So stay focused on this and you'll check your budgeting videos later. If your budget says that you're in a deficit, how do we get out of that? And when I say how do you get out of that? What are you looking at? Making changes. How are you going to look at things in a lens of, do I seriously need this? That I'm so sick and tired of being sick and tired that I want to make a change in my life. Because if they came in and if they fired me today, I don't know what I would do. If for some reason I didn't receive 2 checks, I'm done. Everything, I'm going to lose it all. You're looking at your spending habits. What is it that you can do on a daily basis right now, today, to get some money in your savings? Now, we're not talking about long-term savings because you just have so much money, you have all your consumer debt done. And if you have, that is wonderful. Join the club, it's wonderful. But before you can get to 6 months of emergency savings, we just want to get an emergency fund. We just want to get $1,000. So now we're looking at the way we spend, what is going on with our budget, how we can look at things and transfer some of that spending into actual money that we can use for our household, in turn for our savings. All right. So, looking at the different things that you can do, some people will probably like say, oh, I can work overtime or you get a part time job. But what will you do with that money when it's actually in your hands or in your bank account? Like, will you be a good steward with that? So we can pray and we can fast and we can believe for more money. But today, you just got that call and you lost your job. How are you going to figure that out? So we're trying to show you, let's get right in advance before something like that happens to you. Let's get it right in advance. So here we go. What is not so important, or should I say, what is important that you feel is important enough for you to change your lifestyle? Is it your family? Is it your husband? Is it your spouse? Is it your significant other? Your children? What is that light bulb moment that's going to say, I need a great reflection? My children, their college education. My children, I'm just trying to help them to eat every day. This is real. So the decisions that you make affect a whole bunch of people. So now, when you look at it like that, if I don't bring this money in, 2 or 3 people won't eat. We won't have lights. And let me tell you something that's very, very tragic. I have some rental property, and this one, and this is a real example. This lady just cannot financially get herself together, and she has 4 kids, 2 older and 2 younger. I mean, kids like in diapers. And the first 2 months, she still couldn't get it together. And within 6 months, I was like, look, we got to come up with something. And so the Section 8 people, they switched it around. She's paying the least and they're paying the most. She was only paying $522 out of her pocket. She couldn't even get that done. She couldn't get that on time. She couldn't keep the water bill up. It just was a fiasco. And so now, 1 year later, you're moving your children again because you can't financially do what you need to do. Not only are you just moving your kids again, you're leaving a beautiful home to now go in an apartment because of the decisions that you made. And then when you do have to leave, you leave the place in such disarray. You have feces on the walls, in the carpet. You're just a horrible tenant. And when you're operating like this, how do you expect your life to be fruitful? And how do you expect to be blessed when you don't even care for your day to day? So, what is going on in your life that these 4 children are not being attended to? The water was shut off. Like, just living almost in subpar condition when you had this beautiful, magnificent home that was totally overhauled. So, what I'm saying to you is all the decisions that you make, good morning, beautiful, all the decisions that you make as a parent, as a person, they have consequences. So, when I say that you're 1 year, you're moving again, do you know how much money it takes to move? Turning off things, transferring things, getting a U-Haul. And now I come to this home and it's destitute. It's just all this feces on the wall, feces on the carpet, and the audacity, the writing, the children just wrote all on the on the walls, on the cabinets. Like, these people just had no respect for anything. And so now you in such a deficit that you're moving again. You can't afford to move every year. You need help. If the government is helping you and you still can't get it together and you work a job, and people love to make excuses because one of the things she said, oh, I hadn't worked in a whole week because of this weather. Well, girl, you've had a whole 11 months to get yourself together. And when you were working, you made a priority not to choose your children, not to choose your bills, and someone's helping you, and you have a great job. So these choices that we make affect all these people. And even when people are trying to help you to trim the fat back, to show you what to do, you don't even have the wherewithal to listen. And so now you back in this small, cramped up apartment, barely making it. In the experiences that you just gave your children with this beautiful 4-bedroom, 2.5 bath home with a yard, now you're back into an apartment because you didn't make good decisions. And now your credit is going to be shot to the max because you didn't pay your last rent. I guess you thought that the landlord was going to do something with your deposit, but your deposit and more will be needed. And so your landlord has no choice but to what? Send this to collections, because you have feces on the wall, feces on the carpet. You're no longer caring about the landlord. So why should the landlord care about you? These are the things that people do when they have no sense of finance, they have no sense of purpose, and they just have no goals and no dreams, no aspirations. And you have all these people around them in the system that's trying to help them, trying to encourage them, trying to work with them. Sometimes you just have to let these people go. And so, as a landlord, I made up my mind, oh, yes, I've done all I could do for this person. It's going to collections. Now, when you get people to that point, you lose your tribe. And when you lose your tribe and you out there on your own, that's a hard thing to do. Because those babies still need, food and shelter and some consistency. So moving all the time, because you don't have a plan and you're just dragging these kids from place to place, it's just a very sad state. And you just leave all this stuff in the garage, all through the house. Do you know how every time you move, how much that costs you? Minimum $2,000. Minimum. And if you're barely making it, that $2,000 is food out of your kids. But then you want to say nobody helps you. Well, the government has been helping you. Instead of you paying $1,212, they paying $1,212. You just paying $588. You're not even paying the whole $1,800. But the lies and the deceitfulness, you've got to get it together. So those rainy days are coming. What are you willing to sacrifice? You looked at that budget and you said, I don't have enough. What can you do differently? We talked about the eating out, the getting a part-time job, working overtime. But once that money comes, will you put it in your savings? Will you put it towards your bills? These are the decisions that you have to make every single day. And you have to say out loud, what is this money for? And every week you go back to that budget, whatever your day is. My day is Wednesday. You go back to that budget. Your money is coming in the next day. Where is that money going? You're going to allocate that money. And hopefully we have $5, something to put into our savings goals. And I know some of you just need to go ahead and have a big old ugly cry, because you're like, this lady every week, she's saying the same thing. And I am a broken record. I'm going to say the same thing over and over, because until you get the mindset change, that's the first thing. making that decision that whatever I've been doing, it hadn't been working. Let me try something different. The best feeling is to see $200. The best feeling is to see $400. The best feeling is to be able to pay all your bills. You might be eating ramen noodles and peanut butter and jelly for the rest of the week, but hey, your bills are paid, your lights are on, you got some heat going on in the house. That's peace. That feeling gets to be so good and so contagious. You're like, what else can I do? All this cable, this Hulu, I don't need this. Looking at my subscriptions, talking to my boss, I need a promotion. What do I need to do? I had time with a friend yesterday, and we had pre-planned this to meet, um, and she didn't know what I was going through, and she had some wonderful news to share, and she got a promotion. Someone came to her on her job and said, you should apply for these jobs. They're fighting for her. The people are fighting for her. She had to choose which boss to take. Now, is that not a testament? So now she'll get a raise, and she has these people fighting on her. She had to decide which department. That is amazing. So now her income will increase. So that's what I'm saying to you. Where are we going to get some extra money so we can save? Talk to your supervisor. It might be something coming across the pike that the turnpike that you can work. Do you need a certificate? Do you need some training? Well, she told me that her job, she's been getting all kinds of training free on her job. So she was prepared for this position. She has her eye on another position. And each of these positions increases her income, increases her confidence, and lets the people on her job see her in a different light. They're already sharing with her some other opportunities that's coming. But you have to do something. We can't just sit, whoa, it's me. The things that I went through the last couple of months, the mental health challenges, if I would have just succumbed, I just wouldn't be here today. I really wouldn't. So I'm saying to you, you have to fight for your sanity. You got to fight for your financial freedom. You have to fight for your peace. And no one promised that this journey would be easy, but we have to articulate and we have to get the help and we have to do the work that is needed so we can be whole, we can feel fulfilled, we can feel loved, and we can just be at peace. Not just for yourself, but for those around you, to continue to be that joy and that beacon of light. So when it comes to your finances, finding $2. Now you guys might think this is funny, but I changed purses a couple of times. I just go escalate maybe from two. And I went into a purse that I had for vacation and I found $12. Now I know y'all like this woman with, I was so excited for that $12. It was 12 real dollars because y'all know I just use my card because I like to get my points. But I had 12 real dollars that I could touch. 12 real dollars. And I was like, it's been a whole almost 2 months since my vacation and I have $12. And I just thought that was so fantastic. It's the simple things. Some of you, if you find $12, you're so excited because that is a couple of things from the dollar store that you could feed your family. Some ramen noodles, some peanut butter, some bread. No, this is serious. This is serious. That's why every time I'm in the dollar store, I look around and I say, God, who do I need to swipe for today? That's the best feeling. I love going to the dollar store because when people are buying food like that from the dollar store, either you don't have the money or resources to get to a big store, or this is all you have and you're like, if I get in here, maybe I can do something. And so what is $20, $25, $30 to help somebody do that? What is $5? What's $10? And you say, go back and get some more. Because you come home to a warm home with plenty of food in the refrigerator. Well, really no food in the refrigerator because I don't keep no food in the refrigerator. But I mean basic stuff. I can go get it if I want to. That's what I'm saying about just having those opportunities to think and say, I don't want to be struggling at the dollar store trying to piecemeal a meal together for my family. I want to be able to go to the store and buy up bulk, freeze it, divide everything out, and plan our meals so my children can have nutritious food, my significant other, my family members, that we have some food to eat. So that $12 that I found in my purse, that was really important to me. I smiled because I don't take for granted what I have. Because what you have today could be poof in an instance. So having some savings goals. The other thing I talked to you about is having that 6 months. That's the first time in my whole life that I felt the real peace. Like I have 6 months of savings for my household. If something happened to me, I have 6 months in the bank, and then I have 4 months at my job that if I'm out sick or if, for some reason I don't end up working there anymore, so I can go 10 months and still not feel it. That's what I want for you. If something happened today, how many days, how many months can you go? And if you say 0 or just 1 day or one pay period or 1 month, that's not enough. Let's get into that budget. What are you going to do? We need a specific plan. You're going to take $20 a week, $50 a week. What are you going to do? How are you going to bring money back in so you can put towards that savings goal? So I have a challenge for you. We're in the 3rd day of the month of February, and you've made all these goals that you made that you haven't done anything with. Forget your weight loss goals, forget your eating right goals and exercising. Just for a moment, I want you to focus on your financial goals. And we're going to take this next month and we're going to work so hard on trying to be financially good with our emergency fund. That's what the focus we're going to be. And every time I say to you all about looking in your home, you just have such gems there. You have so much financial resources right there. You as a person, you have talents, hidden talents. You can babysit for your neighbors. You got to take care of your kids too. While they go to work, you keep their kids, and vice versa. You've got to find a way to bring in some more income or a way to not take out of your household. You've got to do it. Some of you, you're driving with the Uber. Some of you are doing things with Amazon packaging, whatever. And then if you have a regular full-time job, there's some online jobs that you can do at home. Some telemarketing jobs where you're calling people. There are jobs that you can do. So I want to say this to you. You go on the internet and put side hustles, and you'll be amazed. You go to YouTube and you go to TikTok, and they will list all these side hustles. And then they have the audacity to go in and go on live and tell you step by step of how they did it. And you pick the thing that works for you and your family. But let me tell you what is so fun to me. When families get together and they have their children, their grandchildren, and they're putting these boxes together to ship. I mean, children that are like 4 years old, they're dragging things across everybody, the whole family. If one person don't bring the money in, nobody eats. So this becomes a family process. We got to work together. And if all of us start a lawn service business, the kids can actually take the leaves and put them in the bag. They can't operate the heavy machinery. And they can pick up the paper in the yard, and they can pull the little weeds. See, it's whatever you do. And you could turn your garage into a Amazon distribution center. Whatever you need to do, put those cars on the outside and get that garage cleaned up and have you some space for what we call our supplies, our product. I'm telling you, you got to think. And some of you can do nails like these nails. Even if you're buying the ones off of the internet, figure out how you can make yourself a resource. Some of you are very good with the internet. Some of you could do, what is it called? Website design. Some of you can help people package up some ideas for maybe what I would call ideas for helping other people. Because if when there's a problem on your job, you find solutions. Taking some of those concepts that you practice on your job and helping those people with day to day, it's the same problems that people have on the job. They just have it in a bigger amount because it might be 500 employees instead of your 5 family members. But you're a mother, you're a father, you're a single parent, um, and you have to make decisions for your household. You're the engineer of that household. How are we going to make everybody else sufficient? How did you trim the fat for your household? That could be an example. How did you do it? How do you make things happen on your job? Write it down. It could be a how to. And or you could turn it into a digital product where you don't even have to warehouse anything. But what I'm saying to you is you have to be clever. We need money. We need money for an emergency fund. What are you willing to do? Turn off TikTok and YouTube and start writing down the things that you're capable of doing. That's the first thing. What are the things that people say you're naturally good at? Me, I'm naturally good at finances and empowering people just to be great. So write those things down. What do you like doing just because? Some people just love keeping children. I mean, people are like, and I know I say that like with a frown on my face. I just can't. That just some people like animals. Walk dogs. I see in my neighborhood people walking dogs all day, all night. Some people might not want to get out there and walk their dog if it's raining. Well, they need to get out there and still poop and do whatever. So you could have your little umbrella and your little rain gear, and you're out there and you're playing with Fido and everything. Changing the cat litter, doing things like that. I'm telling you, you market yourself and don't try to be so overpriced because we're trying to get a whole bunch of customers. All right. Once you get the customers, then you can start going up. But let's get some minimum fees and you can Google all that. What is something realistic? That is what we have to do. Yes, prioritize lessons learned and people do what they want to do. We're not hungry enough yet because if we're hungry enough, we're going to figure out a way to do it. So just imagine there's no money coming in. Think about those things that you're good at. Some of you haven't tapped into any overtime. Some people have even talked to their boss about a promotion or doing anything different. Nobody is even trying to get a little part-time job. You got to do something. And that fancy purse that you keep sashaying around with no money in it, sell that thing. Get you some money for it. you know, I tell you, we don't need all the things that we need. But it is, you should be excited because I've given you some gems. We're cutting back on some of those groceries. We're cutting back on some of that Hulu, Netflix. We're going through the garages. We're going through our house to get rid of things, and we're selling it on Amazon and Facebook Marketplace. We're letting our friends know, hey, you might need a blender, and they have a blender that you need, but you don't have to pay for it because you got some tools out there that y'all swap out. This is what you do. Have that yard sale. Just hike up that garage. If you feel like you so embarrassed that it's just so fit, bring out the things that you could pull out to the end of the curb so the people don't have to go in your garage. Just do that, or write a list of everything you have and just put it on Craigslist. Shoot a few pictures and just say, these are the things I have at 2 o'clock on Saturday. Just come. I promise you, people will get rid of that stuff. Be ready. Make a decision. Excuse me, you guys. Make a decision. Plan. Be creative. What are you good at? You should have at least 10 things that you're good at. 10 things. Some of you clean so well. Some of you are OCD cleaners. Why can't you do a few homes in the evening when you get home? Clean up. Clean up some office buildings. What can you do? And yes, someone's saying, write the plan down. What is it that you can do? Some of you guys like driving. Like driving is relaxing for some people. It's not for me. It's very anxiety driven. It's very triggering for me because it's too much going on. But for those of you that like to drive and talk to people, chauffeur people around. You can chauffeur the food around with Uber Eats, or you could do Lyft, or whatever those other things are. Um, but you can use that income to bring back into your household. Some people are just natural. Oh, I know y'all gonna think this is crazy, but washing clothes for people. Oh my God, people hate washing clothes. You could get you some nice waterproof bags, and that you can have people to drop off, or you could pick up, and you can clean those clothes and charge people. Or you could go to the laundromat for them, whatever. Get creative. If you're at home and you don't have a whole lot to do, what Saturdays and Sundays, everybody's, oh, I need to relax. I worked hard for the week. Well, you need to pay these darn bills. You might can't relax Saturday and Sunday, one of those days, but get together. If you had a household of people and you started saying you have a laundry business, you have a cleaning service, you have a lawn care service, and it's 5 of y'all, you can get together and figure out how to go from house to house. All you need is a lawnmower and some clippers. Let's just say your overhead is, you can get a used lawnmower. Okay? You don't have to go and buy all this new stuff. But think of ways of how you can bring money back into your household, because we're looking at 2024 savings goals, and this money is coming back for our emergency fund. We're trying to get $1,000. Now you have a little business. Now, be careful when you're out there and you saying you're a business, until you get, a little bit of money so you can get your little real true business. Try not to. One guy, he was cutting the grass, and a pebble hit the storm door and just broke it. Of course, he had a business. He was able to replace it, and he was so savvy. He was able to do it himself. He didn't have to pay anybody. But with all that being said, go out there and get this bag for yourself. It's internet work you can do. Some of you are laborers. Some of you just like to be outside. Figure it out. Figure it out. Just, tidying up people's yards, taking the trash and putting it on the curb for them. Washing out the trash bins once a week. That stuff gets a smell, especially in California when you putting the raw food in there and everything. Like, do little things like that. You'll be surprised. $2, excuse me, $5 to a week to clean somebody's trash can. You know, that might not, $10, however you want to charge. But if you get 10 people, come on now, it's starting to add up. And all you doing is using their own water and you hosing it down. That's all you're doing. You wiping it down and you putting it back all nicely. And when you at these people's houses, find other things that you might could do. I want to tell you this. I read an article. The lady, her and her husband worked 2 jobs and they had children. They went out and they invited the babysitter. The babysitter was a teenager. They wrote a note and they said, "You're already going to get paid for babysitting, but my refrigerator need cleaning. If you clean out the refrigerator, that's the extra 15, if you so desire." It was something else for $10. Organize the kids' toys, separating laundry, and they had fees. Do you know that young lady did like 6 of the 8 things that was on there? She didn't tell the young lady to do it. The baby was already asleep. So she was able to get all these things done and make all this extra money instead of laying up on the phone with her phone or talking on the phone. She made all this money. She talked to the lady and she said, "Thank you for the opportunity." People at the internet was just giving this lady a fit, saying you shouldn't ask her. She didn't ask her. She said, "If you want to." She gave an opportunity and this young lady took it. Now they're going to go to some concert and the lady's going to the babysitter's going to help them separate all the little clothes from their ages so they can give it to the Goodwill. Who wants to go through all of that? $15 is nothing for someone that's making $40 and $50 an hour. They don't, that time value added. So you see how that babysitter was doing one job. She came just to babysit those kids and she made so much more money. So you guys are laughing at the owners and the parents, but they were making an opportunity for someone else. They helped them and it helped the babysitter. So what I'm saying is when people present things for you, don't turn your nose up. Everything should be an opportunity. Everything should be, how can I do something? If I could just grab everybody and just shake people. When you declutter your house, the peace in your home, that stuff is gone. You got the money for it. 3 months, I did 6,000 of stuff out of my house that I sold. And the next year I did 9,000. It is amazing. And that's when I was doing my transitioning over to California. But what I'm saying is, you're sick of looking at that stuff. It's just in bins and it's smelly and it's dirty and it's rotted and it's in your garage, it's in your closet and it's making bugs and it's just too much. If you all will thank me so much. It's the best feeling. It's peace. It's money in your pocket and it's a clean household that is just free of all this extra weight. So that is where I'm going to leave you today. Find you some hustle, a side hustle. Write down everything that you're capable of doing and turn that into profit for your household. In addition to your job, because you can't stop working. And I tell you, if some of you have days off, like a week that you could take, I would take that week and I would implement my side hustle. I would work it because now you're not working and thinking about somebody else's job. You're inputting for yourself. You're finding something that you can do. You might have family members that need someone just to sit for a little while with the older parent while they go and do something. It's elder care. They might have some Alzheimer's, and they just need somebody to be there with them. Or they might have some adult children that might have some issues that they just need somebody to watch them. Giving them a break and they give you a little money, you're sitting there, you're not doing anything, but you're making income. Find ways to make yourself resourceful. Editing, when people write books, you can read it, you can edit, you can give feedback. There's voiceovers on Amazon where you could be a voiceover person. There's so many things, so much that you could do, but you've got to get money back into your household. So 2024 goals part 2, finding the resources that you need to bring money into your household for your emergency fund. So for the month of February, we're going to do everything that we can do to find another source of income, resources for our family to do, for us to do as individual. Everybody will be on board to bring in some money into this household. And we're going to do it in a fun, non-threatening, non-stressful way to do it. And cleaning out that garage as a family is the first thing. Going to put some good fun music on And by 7 o'clock, we're going to be up on a Saturday. We got our music going, and we're in there and we're pulling things out. Get you some boxes from the local stores that they already have, and don't pay for boxes, and start separating your things out, getting your little color markers and putting down what it is, ages 5 to 6, boys clothes. Put that in a bin. And so when they come for your garage sales, they know that this is boys clothes for ages whatever, whatever, sizes, whatever, whatever. This is what you have to do. Hey, EGG, this is what we have to do. We have to figure out a way to turn those things into resources. And some of you have 4 and 5 cars. I've told you the insurance is high, the maintenance is high. You only need 1 or 2 cars. And if it's not paid for, it's a debt. Come on, let's get it together. All right? Let's start decreasing, decluttering. What are we doing? We need money for our financial future. So savings goals for February 2024, all we're doing is trying to find money. I found $12 in my purse. That was exciting. I found about 50 or 75 cents in a cushion one day. I was doing something. I'm like, where? And it fell out of my purse when I was cleaning my purse one day. That's what I'm saying. Just finding money. Oh, some of you have like savings accounts that you've had all over places. You haven't done that with it. And they have $25 in there. If you got 4 or 5 accounts and you just got 25 and you haven't added anything to it, how about taking all that money and put it in one place, and let's get at least $150, okay? There's your minimum starting your emergency fund. Come on, let's be creative. I mean, sit there, turn that TV off, turn that YouTube and that Hulu, and just figure out, what do I have? I thank you guys. I told you about my mental health stuff that I've been going through. Do not be like me. I'm telling you now, get you some help, get on the phone, talk to some people, get you some therapy, and don't let these people at your job stress you out. You got to share with them some of the things that you're going through. Not in much detail, but let them know that things are not good right now. And if you need to take some time off from work, you need to take some, but you got to get yourself together, okay? All the weight, all the stress, we're going to lay it aside. I speak peace and blessings to you. I speak money, finances, resources, abundance, opportunity over you and your family today. And that when you do get it, that you will take this money and you will put it in your savings, because we're having our $1,000 February savings challenge. We have to have the emergency money. We're not letting any of you go until you come up with your $1,000. Go back and listen to this. I've dropped plenty of gems. Go back and listen. Fast forward a lot of that stuff I was just talking about, my mental health stuff, but get to the nitty gritty. You do have a talent. Write it down. Write the things that you're good at. If you're a good listener, if you can read and good with grammar and writing, write these things down. There's jobs for that. Go online and do your side hustle, finding side hustles. Oh, they will give you so many opportunities, and see what fits for you and your family. But in the meantime, declutter and get some of that money that is in your household right now that you're just wasting. I love you guys. I want you to have a fabulous day. And it's all about savings goals for 2024. Mwah. Have a wonderful Saturday. Be blessed. Stay healthy. Mind, body, soul, and spirit. Thank you, Jill. Thank you, EGG. Love you guys. And thank you to the audience that I can't see, but I know you're there. I love you guys. Have a wonderful day.